Welcome to Secure the Bag Week 6 NFL Picks. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy starts like, fams, get his money.
Yes, let's do it. Thank you for all of our slackers out there that are rocking with us each and every week. Whether you're live or watching this later, we love to be able to bring our picks every week and be transparent with y'all and just let you guys know what's going on. So that's what we're here to do. We're going to make moneyline picks for all 14 games and then bring you 3 locks against the spread. But before we do that real quick, Strizzy, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. You know what I'm saying? I took everybody in my household was on fall break, so I took today and tomorrow off. You know what I'm saying? Maybe do some family stuff these next couple of days, but get a little extended weekend. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'm feeling good. Feel rested. You know what I mean? How about you?
I'm feeling good as well. You know what I'm saying? I got me a little nap earlier today, so I'm doing pretty good. That's always nice. And it's crazy to have fall break when it's still like what? It's still 103 degrees, 105 degrees day.
Hey, look, it's still triple digits, but SRP need to go ahead and change them rates up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I know it's October and we still triple digits and stuff, but now go ahead and change them rates. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. This ain't our fault. So
you know what I mean? Ain't got nothing to do with that.
Roll it back. That's what's up. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing started. We'll make our picks and then get straight to it. And if we have time, I have a little special something for afterwards. So we'll see if we get a little bonus content in here too. For last week, Strizzy 7, me 10. Actually, it was a pretty good week for me, surprisingly. I feel like I picked a few upsets, right? So that's what's up.
Nice.
So I'm going to lead us into this thing, and we'll see what we get for week 6, starting with tonight, Thursday Night Football. We got the San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going with the 49ers in this one, but both of these teams coming off disappointing losses, games that they probably should have won, at least going into the weekend. Yeah. I like San Francisco in a short turnaround. With that shorter week, I feel like they just have it all there. They just need to avoid the big mistakes. Yeah. And I think they have the players to do it. So I'm going with the 49ers, even though it's a tough place to play on the road. And the Seahawks, I feel like this is going to be a down to the last possession type game.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Another division game was kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Back-to-back division games. But I'm with you. I'm thinking San Francisco, though. Although, I don't know if Moody is, their kicker is still injured or not.
They signed as somebody off the street, so
yeah, okay. Yeah, man. I don't know how much better that makes me feel, but
yeah,
they gotta score touchdowns in this game. You know what I mean? Don't leave it up to your kicker and missing a bunch of scoring opportunities. But like you said, just all around, who's better? San Francisco. So I'm gonna go Niners as well.
All right, I like it. Yeah, and that is going to be a tough one. It is for the division lead in that division, but it's crazy. If the Seahawks win, then you have all 4 NFC West teams kind of going into the weekend with a losing record, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
considering how strong that division is.
Yep.
All right, moving into Sunday morning, we have another London game. We have the Jaguars at technically the Chicago Bears. They're the home team, even though they're both in London. I'm going with the Bears in this one. I feel a little bit risky only because the Jaguars, that's their second home, and They always seem to do well in London, but they're coming off that big victory last week. I feel like that's going to, maybe keep things a little bit tighter. But Chicago has a really good defense, and Caleb Williams is coming on. So I'm going with Chicago in this one, even though I'm nervously hitting that button.
Nah, man, I'm actually with you on this one. Defense travels, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, right now, the Jaguars just on a very good team, on either side of the ball. And I feel like Chicago is starting to look better. I know it's kind of tricky because they just, beat the brakes off of the Panthers last week, who are finally having offense but no defense for a change. So it's kind of weird. But I think this is a good time for kind of Caleb Williams to take that stride. He's playing a lot of really, really bad defenses for the next 5 weeks. So Bears actually have a really, really good chance at going on the run here, and I think they win too.
Yep. I like it. Pops is with us, by the way. Good afternoon, Pops. He said Jaguars always play very well in London. Yeah, their owner Shad Khan, he wants to move them there. Really, he does. So we'll see how that works out. But I am going with the Bears in that one. But Pops is giving us a great reminder. Whether you're watching live or watching later, don't be afraid. Drop your picks along with us, so you can put it out there who you're feeling this weekend. Keeping things moving, we've got the Bucs visiting the Saints. I'm going with the Buccaneers in this one. Buccaneers came off that hard-fought game against Atlanta. They fell short, but they had a little bit more extra time to prepare with that being Thursday Night Football. And the Saints are going to be without Carr for at least the next couple weeks. So I'm going with the Bucs in here. Even if they have Taysom Hill or some gadgets at quarterback, I feel like it's just going to be too much to keep up with the Bucs offense. So Bucs in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one too. I'm going Bucs as well. I don't know, man. Spencer Rattler, it's kind of crazy. As an OU fan, I just never really kind of fell in love with him. You know what I mean? He never really did it for me. I'm at the quarterback position, and then it's your first time playing. You know what I mean? As an NFL starter, kind of tricky. No film on him, so he's got that going for him.
True.
But I don't know, man. It's tricky. I think the Bucks do this. I don't know if it's a low scoring game. I think the Saints defense is going to come through for him a little bit, kind of help him out a little bit. But I think in the end, Bucks get the last laugh.
Yeah, I feel you. And Spencer Rattler, I know what you mean. He's kind of up and down, but he always has been talented. I kind of low-key believe he could be like a really solid backup in the league type of guy.
Yeah.
But this is a tough spot to throw him in there. So we'll see how he does. But I'm kind of rooting for him. All right, next up, we got – this might be my game of the week. The Commanders visiting Baltimore Ravens. And this is really – if you know these two teams are like literally like really close together, right? Geographically, this is really like a battle of Baltimore. I'm going with the Ravens at home, but I think this is going to be a really good game. Both of these, this is going to be kind of like the Cincinnati Bengals Ravens game or the Bengals Commanders game, right? Where I think the offenses are going to do great and the defenses are going to kind of struggle. I'm definitely taking the over, even though it's like high at 50 points. But I think the Ravens will come through with like a clutch Derrick Henry run or clutch Lamar Jackson play at the end to win it.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one, man. I've actually really enjoyed watching this Commanders team play, primarily because of Jaden Daniels. He's been phenomenal so far. But yeah, I'm with you on this one. High scoring game. I think, now they're one of these defenses. Washington defense actually has been playing a lot better. 2 weeks ago, they were sitting, I think, 27th in the league or something like that. Now they're sitting, I think, like 14th. So the defense has actually really, really come together in the last couple of weeks, but still not super great. And, rookie. So they're going to throw everything they can defensively and see what they have. But I think Ravens squeak this one out too.
That'll be a good one. All right, another good one. The Cardinals at the Green Bay Packers. Oh, man, this is really a toss-up for me. I want to pick the Cardinals. I so am leaning Cardinals just because I feel like they're getting way better with the running game. They're using Kyler Murray like with intentional runs, and James Conner is running the ball really well. And when that happens, they do well. But their defense is a little bit more suspect for me, giving up so many points to the Commanders and having some bad performances. So on the road, I'm going with the Packers at home. But I feel like this is going to be a really good game, another potentially high-scoring game. But if the Packers avoid the big mistakes, I think they can pull it out. Yeah,
I'm actually with you on this one. I really toss up between this one. I think the Cardinals have enough to actually upset Green Bay in Green Bay. And it could definitely be one of the upsets of the week, honestly, because how hard it is to play in Lambeau Field. But I'm going Green Bay as well. They are still a very talented team on the offensive side of the ball. And Jordan Love is really, really good at distributing out to all his receivers, right? So if they can get their ground game really going, I think Green Bay gets a lot more dangerous than what they have been. But I do like Green Bay this week.
Yeah. I was surprised with the Cardinals. I think you're like 6.5 point underdogs or something like that, which is way too big for me on the spread side. So
yeah,
it's pretty crazy. All right, next up, we have two struggling AFC South teams, the Colts at the Titans. Another toss-up for me. Man, I really don't know what to do, but I think I'm going to go with the Titans. And I'm sad to say this, but I think if they found something when they turned to Mason Rudolph, whether for injury or for better, I feel like he's just more stable with their offense. And the Titans' defense is like low-key pretty good. So I'm going with the Titans at home, but this is another one. This is a kind of a coin flip for me. Both of these teams kind of really haven't showed themselves yet.
Likewise, man. I'm with you on that one. I'm going Titans too. You said pretty good. Titans have the number one defense in the league. they actually have the number one defense in the league. So I'm definitely with you on that. And as much as I kind of loved what Joe Flacco was able to do for the Browns last year, and what he was able to do for the Colts getting their first win last week, I still like the Titans. Flacco hasn't faced a good defense yet, and then when he finally faced one in the playoffs last year, we saw what happened, right? So I love the Joe Flacco story. Like, it's definitely been really fun to watch, but I think Titans squeak this one out. They're at home as well.
Yeah, as long as they can get something on the offense.
Yeah, exactly.
Pops is going with the Colts on the road on that one.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. All right, next up, we've got the Texans at the Patriots. I'm going with the Texans in this one. I think that they, have the horses, obviously. They have the offense. Their defense is coming together when they play well enough. Only really thing of note here is Drake May coming in there. The Patriots have been giving up a lot of pressure. Will he get sacked a lot, or will he use his legs to run around? And, will he be a playmaker? I think that's the only factor that could have the Patriots with an upset here, but I don't see it. I'm going Texans.
Yeah, I'm going Texans too. I'm hoping Drake May gives Patriots fans or Patriots offense just a little bit something to look forward to. You know what I mean? Because it's been abysmal since Tom Brady left. Not even the last year or two. It's just been horrible. But I do like the Texans too. I think offensively, it's gonna be one of those things where even if the Patriots defense can keep it close, sooner or later they're gonna get tired, and then Texans just they'll take off from there. Maybe close in the first half, but second half Texans take over. So
right.
Texans.
I love it. One thing to note, Nico Collins is going to be out for I think at least like 3 weeks. So Stephon Diggs, it's time to step up, man. Let's go.
Tank Dell too. Let's go, baby.
Right. Next up, we got the Browns at the Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles in this one. I don't really care what the spread ends up being. Unfortunately, Deshaun Watson has forgotten how to play football, and the Browns front office, and ownership is dedicated to leaving him in there, right? Because they're tied to him with the money. So I think no matter how bad this gets, they're just going to keep riding it out. And the Eagles coming off of a bye week, they'll be prepared for this game.
Yeah, I completely agree. Actually, I'm going Eagles with this one. I think honestly, at this point, I feel like Browns might even be in tank mode. I feel like at this point, like you said, Deshaun Watson, he looks so bad, dog. Like you said, completely forgotten how to play football. I think he's lost all confidence as well. I know last week the Browns head coach wanted to go for it, and he literally took himself out. He basically said no. He wanted to go for it on 4th down, and Deshaun Watson literally took himself out and didn't want to go for it. So to me, like he's lost all hope. You know what I mean? And Jameis Winston is probably not the quarterback of their future, and it's looking like Deshaun Watson isn't either. So they might be looking into tank mode right now and seeing what they can get in the draft next year.
Yeah, I feel bad for Deshaun Watson, but also I feel like the off the field stuff is just really caught up to him mentally. It's just too much. So it's unfortunate to see. All right. Next up, we got the Chargers at the Broncos. This should be a low-key, really good game. I'm going with the Broncos at home. Even though they're the underdog, that defense is really good on offense. For the Chargers, Herbert has looked like so, right? But I just don't know if he's completely healthy. And I feel like the Denver Broncos are going to go after him a lot with a lot of pressure, a lot of sacks. If the Chargers can't run the ball on the Broncos, which is tough, I feel like that they're going to struggle really bad on offense. So I'm going with the Broncos. They're a little bit upstart, man. Their schedule looked brutal, but they're doing their thing. So we'll see.
I agree with you, man. Broncos defense over this like no-name Chargers offense. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's nobody really on offense right now. They've got, they took two. They got DK and they got Gus from the Ravens from last year, but both of those guys are both kind of injury prone, haven't really been too great. And I can't think of not one receiver from the Chargers right now. You know what I'm saying?
McConkey, the rookie. That's all they really got.
That's about it. You know
he's still finding his way too. Yeah,
exactly. So, it's just one of them things, man. So, I think the Chargers are still trying to find their identity. They've lost pretty much every weapon that they had last year. It's gone. Both the receivers and the running back and Eckler are all gone. So really, really tough, making it really, really hard for the quarterback to kind of get things going. But so I figure like Broncos bare minimum offense should win this game as long as the defense comes to play.
Yep, I'm with you. All right. Next up, we got the Steelers at the Raiders. I'm going with the Steelers in this one. I think that they should be able to get it done, even if they use their 3 yards in a cloud of dust, only throw if they're desperate type of offensive game plan, which is just really befuddling to me. You got Justin Fields out there. They don't really let him throw until they're down by 10 or more. Just let him see what he has, and especially because that defense is so good, if you build a lead, you can really close out games instead of kicking field goals every single time. So I'm going with the Steelers, and I hope that they open it up a little bit.
Yeah, me too, man. It's funny. I feel like I'm kind of tired of like watching Justin Fields have some like really, really great games as a passer, especially last season with DJ Moore as his number one receiver. When he actually finally had some help, and then everyone kind of forgetting what he was able to do as a passer. Like, you got to let this man pass. If teams are going to play you guys thinking that you're just not going to pass the ball, it makes you easier to defeat. So let him go ham, man. Like, everyone's kind of upset with not Garrett Wilson,
George Pickens.
Yeah, George Pickens. But like, I think people need to understand, man, when you're a wide receiver and you're not being used as a wide receiver, you just use it like a constant blocker, or the ball's not coming your way. It's deflating. It's morally deflating, man. So like I'm with George Pickens actually. Like, I totally understand like what he's going through. Maybe he can handle it a little bit better, and when the cameras are on him. But like, dude, seriously, as a wide receiver and you're not getting the ball's not even coming your way. Like, I'd be super frustrated too. I went through something very similar. In one of my high school years when we were running a old school wing T offense, dude, and we just run the ball all the time. So like, it takes a lot out of you when you want the ball and you know how good you are. It's frustrating. So they got to air the ball out. They got to let Justin Fields go out there and be a quarterback. Dude has an arm. Like, he has an actual arm. So let him go out and use it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it sucks, George Pickens has been his thing all through college and everything, the maturity. But it's like the winning, he's definitely a playmaker, right? So if they win, it's like a good thing. Like, see, look, he wants the ball. He wants the ball in big spots.
Yeah.
But when you're kind of losing and struggling, it comes off different. So
yeah, exactly.
I agree with you. All right, next up, we've got the Falcons at the Panthers. I'm going with the Falcons in this one. I feel like they got the mini bye coming off the Thursday, and I feel like they've got some confidence now with Kirk Cousins going out there and throwing for 500 yards. Do I think they'll repeat that? No. But do I think that this will be a little bit more showing from the offense of what they can do with that good receiving attack and then helping their running backs out who are very talented as well? So I got the Falcons in this one with maybe closer than we think, seeing that it's an NFC South rivalry kind of.
Yeah, man, we'll see. We're basically missing a lot of we're missing our biggest defensive players on the defensive side of the ball for the Panthers. Man, I'm going with the Falcons as well. So if we can't, it sucks because I hate the 3-4 defense. I've never really liked it. In order to run a 3-4 defense, you have to have some really, really big boys up front. And right now we're missing those big boys, including Shaq Thompson on the four part. So I think Evero needs to change this defense up. I don't think it's too late yet, but I really think with the personnel we have, we got to go 4-3 maybe. But until we can fix some things on the defensive side of the ball, it's really hard for me to pick my boys. So I'm going Falcons as well. I think the defense is actually pretty decent, and offensively, I don't think we can we can't stop anything, man. So we'll see what happens.
Gotcha. All right. Next up, the Lions at the Cowboys. Man, this is a tough one for me. I think this is another coin flip. It's really going to depend on who possesses the ball more. But I think I'm actually, man, I hate to say this, but I think I'm actually going against my boys in this one. I think the Lions just have the more balanced attack. And I think that the Lions are not going to let us pass the ball, right? They're going to make us run the ball on them. And even though we had a better showing from Dottle last week, I think it's just going to be a little bit more of a struggle. Yeah. And I feel like our defense might be a little bit more exposed in this one because they do have that balance. They have some big play wide receivers, and they can run the ball really well. So I'm going with the Lions in my head, but in my heart, I'm rooting for the Cowboys. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. Yeah, the Lions are so good, man. They're a very, very balanced team. They have a good defense, too, that I think is a little underrated. And then, of course, everything they can do on offense. You know what I mean? They're really, really, really good on offense. And I don't know. I loved what Dallas did against the Steelers, but again, too, the Steelers also have no offense. So when a game is low scoring and any given team to win, I think it's a little bit harder playing against a really, really talented offense. Lions offense. I'm going with Lions too.
Oh man, that's okay. Pops is going with the Lions too. So hopefully, since all three of us are on the same page, maybe we'll be. Maybe we'll be
for sure. We'll see.
I don't know if the Cowboys have that home field mojo that they had before that helped them out. So it's just not the same this year. So, all right, going into Sunday Night Football, this is low-key a really good matchup. The Bengals at the Giants. I'm going with the Bengals in this one in a high-scoring affair, but let's not overlook the Giants totally. That offense is really actually doing pretty good with Daniel Jones. It's surprising. Like over the last the first couple of weeks, I'm like, I'm going against the Giants no matter what. But in this one, yeah, exactly. But I think that they might have a little bit of a chance this one. I think it's going to be close. But the Bengals in that offense are going too strong. So I think that they get the W on this one in a big spot.
Yeah, I think the Bengals actually really wrote the ship when they played the Panthers 2 weeks ago, and then completely looked the same exact way when they played the Ravens. But, OT, you know what I mean? Like the Ravens are also a really, really, really good team. So I think they continue to do. I think they still might just be a little overbearing for the Giants. I know Neighbors is coming off of a concussion. Not sure if he's playing, you know what I mean, this week. But I do like the Bengals in this one as well.
Yeah, I feel it. I want to welcome Anthony West to the show. He said, "Let's go Giants. I hate the Bengals." Yeah, you never know, man. And especially because these Sunday Night Football games end up coming through with some good matchups. So
yeah,
Pop says Bengals. Pop says Bengals because Joe Burrow is pissed off. Yeah. I agree. I think that offense is clicking now, and that defense just needs to stop somebody. But again, that was a tough one in the Ravens game last week. But even though they're 1-4, they're not going to give up.
Yeah.
All right, going to Monday Night Football, our last matchup of the week. We got the Buffalo Bills at the New York Giants. New York Jets. I'm going with the Bills in this one. I feel like play calling and some coaching mistakes shot them in the foot last week. They won't make that same mistake again. And the Jets are just a mess. We talked about the Robert Saleh firing. Now they're talking about actually taking play calling duties away from Nathaniel Hackett. on the offensive side to try to make a change. I feel like that was just a reaction from the fact that everybody pointed out that the offense is the problem, not the defense. So they look like they're making changes on offense now. They just got rid of their defensive wizard and their head coach. So I'm going with the Bills. I don't feel like some kind of interim coach bump is going to make the difference here, like morale boost type of thing. No. I feel like the Bills will be too much.
I completely agree, man. I don't think this. I feel like the whole firing thing really, really kind of like hurt things. You know what I mean? I don't think that was a good stunt at all. Nathaniel Hackett's been horrible. And like you said, a couple miscues on the coaching side of things cost the Bills last week. Definitely not happening again. And I don't know. I think it's crazy because I think the line right now is like three points. I think Bills actually beat them down this week. I think they get their butts handed to them.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm surprised. Yeah, I think it's like 2.5 or 3. I'm like, that's not enough. Like, honestly, I don't know what they're looking at. Bob says Bills Jets owner will be fired this week. And it's funny to note, though, that Woody Johnson, the owner, did not hire Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh was actually hired in the time when Woody Johnson's brother was in charge over there at the Jets. So I think that's a little bit illuminating, too. I feel like that's why we've had them, fire their coach in season for the first time in so long. But yeah, maybe the Jets ownership will have to change course again after this, how this has been handled. And Anthony Weston makes a great point. He said, I probably would have waited till after this game to see how the team responded until firing him. I agree with that completely, especially because they were playing a tough Vikings team on the road. I don't know what they expected when actually they were really kind of competitive in that game. So
yeah, exactly. Defensively, especially.
Yeah.
Almost won.
It's weird. Yeah, exactly. This is the first time we saw the Vikings offense kind of slow down. So
funny enough, in that game, if I was the Vikings, I would have just kept throwing it to Justin Jefferson. The amount of defensive PI calls were insane. No, they could not hold him. It was like pass interference. Every time he threw the ball that way, I just kept going his way.
I feel it. I don't know why they didn't abuse that, but hey, here we are now. So we'll see. They still got out of that. But yeah, the Jets, I feel like their season is at a turning point, and hopefully this is the end of it because I don't like it. All right. We made our money line picks. Now we're going to switch up to making some locks. Again, we always like to remind everybody this is not actual betting advice, but we picked who's going to win the game. Now we're going to pick against the adjusted spread. Strizzy, I'll let you lead off. 2 bags last week with the Packers and the Cowboys. Great job. Talk us through your picks of the week.
Shout out to you boys. Yeah, this is kind of weird for me, man. I don't know. I feel like this is kind of not popular, maybe past now. I mean, of a -3 because I feel like the Lions are kind of a much better team this season. But so I thought 3 points. I figured I think they're going to win this game. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the Cowboys defense, like you're talking about, is a little depleted right now. And I think like the Lions are just a little too good on both sides of the ball. I think this might be one of those blowout games. You know what I mean? I think the Lions are coming to play today or Sunday.
Gotcha.
Yeah, plus 6.5. I'm really just hoping that the Panthers offense can just get back to how they looked against the Raiders. I don't think they're going to win this game, but 7 is a lot, especially in a division game, and we're at home. So I'm hoping that even if they lose, they make it at least competitive. You know what I mean? But we'll see. It's either going to be a blowout or they're going to keep it close.
Got you.
And then same thing here, man. I don't know why the line is so low. Bills have actually been pretty good, and I don't know. I just feel like they're gonna really beat the crap out of the Jets this week for some reason. So I thought -2.5, that's easy money. So hopefully get the sweep this week.
For sure, going for that triple bag. Almost had it last week. I think it was. I can't remember who let you down on last week. But
it was the Saints. That had them at plus 5.5.
Yeah, that could have went the other way too, except for those late scores kind of made it. It was a closer game than it seemed, especially with that big boy interception. So, all right, moving on to my locks. I really like the Bills too. I almost used them, but I decided to go a different way. Last week, the Ravens and the Texans came through for me. Nice. Actually, it was the Bucks that screwed me over last week because I think the line was a little bit too close, and since they ended up losing by 6 in overtime, that screwed me. That's okay. But that's all right. We'll go for the triple back this week. Broncos at plus 2.5 as the underdog. I think they're going to win outright, so that was easy for me. I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and grab that. The Bucks, I'm hoping for that redemption. 3.5. I don't really like the 3.5. I'd rather go for the 3 so we can get a push in case it's just a field goal. Yeah. But the Saints not having a starting quarterback or not having their starting quarterback, I think will impact this game a lot more. So 3.5, I feel comfortable. And then the Bears, only 1.5 against the Jaguars. On paper, it seems like that's easy money. but the fact that they're in London is going to keep this game close. I still feel confident with the Bears offense doing a little bit better and enough to get that. So that's where we're at right there. I got the Broncos, the Bucks, and the Bears. So the triple Bs. To keep it honest and keep it 100 as we always do, our money line records for the year and also our bags for the year. So we're coming through, we're doing our thing, and we're starting to pick momentum. 2 bags in a row for each of us on the lock side. So we're starting to pick up momentum and do some good things. Bye weeks this week: the Chiefs, the Dolphins, the Vikings, and the Rams. It's funny, we have the two undefeated teams out there, the last 2 undefeated teams, and then 2 underwhelming teams, a little bit disappointing teams on the other side. So that's what's up. All right, for our last little bonus, so that was our locks and our money line picks. For the last little bonus, Strizzy, talk to me baseball real quick. We got 2 playoff games today that are potential clinchers, and then we have the big one against the Padres and the Dodgers tomorrow night. What are your picks for these 3 games if you were going to put it together a little parlay here?
I'm going to put a little parlay here. I don't know why, for some reason, man, I'm really liking the Tigers. I don't know why. I just feel like it's going to be tough, but I like the Tigers, man. I love what they've done, especially late in the season this year. They started out strong. They slowed down a little bit. Then they really hit their stride towards the end. So I love an upset here for Detroit Tigers, so I'd go with them. And then I think underdog night, man. Like, it's tricky because Yankees do have Garrett Cole pitching tonight. But, like, I don't know if it's my heart, but I'm just really rooting for the Royals. I've never been a Yankee fan. I've always been kind of one of the Yankee haters. You know what I'm saying? But like, not even just pushing that for you guys. Like, I'd love the Royals to push through as well, man. So I'm going Detroit. I'm liking Detroit and the Royals. But if I had to put my money on it, I'd say Cleveland and the Royals. I think Royals somehow pull it out tonight. Nice,
I like that. Yeah, I'm with you. The Cleveland, they look really good, even though they're on the road. I feel like that they could close that one out. Extend that series. But the Tigers, man, they were left for dead in the middle of the season, actually late in the second, and they've been on a roll since then. So I think that momentum is helping fuel them in the fact that they kind of came together as a team. The Royals, man, I'm really hoping, even though they are the underdog tonight, that they can get it done. Garrett Cole is great, but they were all over him in that first matchup. Actually, they were really hitting him hard, and so I think that they can pull that out. And then as far as the Dodgers, that's a toss up, man. The Dodgers just don't have any starting pitching, and it's terrible to see such a great team during the regular season, such a stacked lineup, and they literally have no pitching, and they're going up against a Padres team that is very familiar with them and has no fear of them. So, this could be an interesting one. But that we have it. We'll go ahead and shut it down right there. I'll just grab the last couple comments. Anthony Weston, I like this one, says, seems like bad ownership needs to take a look in the mirror and see why they continue to be unsuccessful. Jets, Browns, Panthers, since Tepper, these dudes' egos get in the way because of their success in other business. And I think that is so true. Exactly. I think you have these successful business people that they're like, we're going to make aggressive moves and we're going to do this and do that. But sport, there's a nuance to it. It's not exactly the same as running a business and making investments and knowing when to strike and when not to. You got to really kind of, look at the long-term impact of things, and you can't just make those rash moves just because you think you're always right. So I do think that is a great take there. Thank you again, Anthony, for being part of the show. Thank you, Pops, for making guys' picks along the way. Shout out to Pops this week for winning the Pick'em, and make sure you're playing along with us in the Yahoo. You can check the link in our bio, and whoever wins each week gets a Super Bowl square. So be sure to do that, and be sure to come back next week for episode 268.
Yeah,
of Say Like a Champ next Tuesday, where we'll break down all the games and all the happenings in the world of sports. Strizzy, you got anything else for us? Any parlays for tonight or anything you're feeling?
Nothing too crazy. Nothing I think anyway, but I'm straight.
All right, cool. Yeah, I know I'm not really liking too many of the props, but I'm thinking the tight ends are gonna do well in this game.
Yeah.
The running backs and the wide receivers are both going to be having a lot of attention paid to them. So I feel like that middle of the field tight end. So if you like Noah Fan, if you like Kittle, maybe check out their props. True. But there we have it. That was Secure the Bag Week 6 NFL Picks. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy.
Peace.